Hey y'all, it is Mom of Taj with Taj Things, and it's been a minute. Our schedule has been totally hectic because we have started kindergarten, as y'all know. So how is kindergarten? Some may ask. Real ghetto, okay? So many moving parts to it, things that you don't think about, things that you kind of are oblivious to until it's happening in the moment. That's going to be another topic for another day. If you want to hear more about our experience since starting in the school system, make sure that you drop a comment and I'll be here to let you in. And now, today we will be talking about kindergarten check-in. So the other day I posted a video that we took our son on a one-on-one date so that we can check in with him since starting kindergarten. Since posting that video, I got a lot of people in my DMs asking, what is kindergarten check-in? So it's just what it sounds like. It's checking in with your child now that they have transitioned into kindergarten. Now the whole goal for kindergarten check-in is to assess, affirm, and advocate. When we talk about assess, you want to assess through your child, through communication, what's going on in the classroom, how they're feeling about different things that's taking place, maybe even behaviors that your child has now started displaying since kindergarten. When we're talking about affirming, you want to affirm who they are, their positive feelings, their bravery, their strength, their knowledge, and their ability and capability to do great things. And when we talk about advocate, you already know you are your child's advocate. So if they're telling you that they're uncomfortable, if they're telling you that something is wrong, now is the time that you start to speak up for your child, because no one is going to advocate for them like you. So let's first start to talk about feelings. Yes, kids are little, however, they have feelings because they're human. When you're having your conversation with your kids, ask them how they feel about their teacher. Ask them how they feel about their classmates. What that may look like, is your teacher nice? Does your teacher yell at the kids when they're doing something? Does your teacher encourage you whenever you're getting problems wrong? Or does your teacher encourage you whenever they're seeing you doing good things? Things like that, you're going to start to get a feel as to what the environment is like, how things are happening inside the classroom, and their feelings on it. Now, to go beyond those basic questions, it's going to depend on the answer that they give you, right? Because if they tell you, oh yeah, teacher is very nice. Okay, well, why is she nice? What kind of things does she do? For instance, my child came home one day saying that he wants to buy his teacher an apple. I'm like, why do you want to buy your teacher an apple? He's like, oh, I just love her. She's so nice. So that, in and of itself can give me an idea of, okay, although I don't know the teacher personally, I have a feeling that at least he feels safe and comfortable with her. And it shows, and he projected that by wanting to buy her an apple. If you ask if the teacher is nice and your child say no, you're going to want to ask some follow-up questions. Now, I asked my kids these questions when they were in daycare. Based off of the information that they gave me, I knew that it wasn't necessarily an issue. However, I continued to ask them so that I could get more information to better assess. For instance, when my kids were in daycare, or when my oldest was in daycare, I asked him if a particular teacher was nice. And he said no. I said, why? He said, because she puts kids in time out. Okay, so why does she put kids in time out? Oh, because sometimes they don't listen, so she has to separate them from the group. Okay, so we know that it's not necessarily that she's not nice, it's that there are systems in place so that the kids can be separated, so they can take a time away from the group so that they can better behave. Same thing with kindergarten. If your child tells you the teacher isn't nice, or why isn't she nice? Oh, because she yells at us. Because that could be a thing. Sometimes teachers aren't in the business because they're passionate about it. For some people, it is a job. So it is your job as a parent to make sure that you know what's going on in the class to the best of your ability. Because for a lot of working parents, they cannot sit in the classroom to monitor what's going on. Even if you have the ability to do that, you cannot do it all the time. If your child communicates some of those feelings, then you definitely want to start to reach out to see what's going on. Take the time to go into the classroom, to visit the school. What I would do, I would ask them what happened. When your child communicates, tell you what happened, go into the next thing so that you can gather the story, so that you can then compose the email. Once you compose that email, you tell that teacher what happened, what your child said, and you want some clarification as to what was going on. In addition to that, now you want to go to the office and see what's the protocol for going into the classroom so that you can monitor how the kids are behaving or what's going on inside the classroom so that you can better understand. So, side note, make sure that you go to the front office and fill out a background check. A lot of schools now, especially with safety, and it's probably been for a while, you have to pass a criminal background check in order to be let inside of the classrooms. If for some reason you can't pass a background check, or if you can't get inside the classroom fast enough and you're really concerned, what I would personally do is contact the principal, contact the assistant principal, and express your concern and state that you would like someone to go into the room and monitor at some point of the day. And you want to report. As a parent, you want to do your due diligence to make sure that you can paint a picture as to what's happening in the classroom. Other ways to assess your child's feelings on a day-to-day basis. Ask them questions like, what made you laugh today? What made you smile? What are you looking forward to doing tomorrow? Or on the contrary, what made you sad today? If something made them sad, make sure that you follow up and ask what it was. Who did you tell? Did anyone else see it? This can help you paint a better picture, again, to assess the situation as to what's going on in their environment. Another thing that you might want to address whenever you're talking to your kid and doing a check-in is safety. When we talk about safety, we are talking about everything. Nobody is off limits. Nobody gets a pass. Everybody is a suspect. Even you. When we are asking questions about safety, we want to know, who do you call if you need help? Do you feel safe with your teacher? Do you feel safe with someone who keeps you after school? Do you know what bullying is? What does that look like? What is their interpretation of it? And it can be from them doing it to someone else or someone else doing it to them. Because just like you don't want someone bullying your child, you don't want your child to be bullying anyone either. So make sure that you talk about that. Make sure that your child knows what it looks like to be a bully. Not only in the physical aspect, but in the mental aspect. Because that is a huge thing. A lot of kids have insecurities and they project their insecurities on others by trying to intimidate as well as discouraging other kids to being their best self and making great choices. Also, for our parents, make sure that you know the protocol for reporting bullying. You want to know where you can find that information and who it should be reported to, because if there should be an event when your child reports bullying type signs to you, you want to act immediately. We're dotting all I's, crossing all T's. Again, pick up on some of the practices that are happening at school. You want to know, hey, what does it look like when you go to the bathroom? Are you able to go to the bathroom alone? Make sure that your child knows that no one is allowed to be in the stall with them, as well as what appropriate behavior versus inappropriate behavior looks like when it comes to touching, when it comes to being in someone's personal space, etc. Now, I go a step further because, like I said, nobody is off limits, okay? So I even ask my child, okay, if mommy touches you and makes you feel uncomfortable, who do you tell? Because I want to know, who do you feel like you're supposed to tell, who you can go to if someone who you're supposed to trust violates your space. If daddy touches you inappropriate, who do you tell? If you call the police and the police is not able to help you, who do you call? Those kind of things. It may sound like too much for some, and for some kids it can be. But when you have kids and you know your kids and you have a child that displays maturity, then you can talk to and you can build these things so that they know protocol for when things are not the way that they're supposed to be. And lastly, we're going to talk about concerns. Now you want to know if your child has any concerns. It could be something as little as who's going to be picking me up to they don't know what to do whenever they get to school in the morning because they're always going into the wrong classroom or something. Whatever your child talks about, that's what you want to address. And that's what you want to make sure that you answer. So communication is key because you want to be able to build these habits so that your child can talk to you as they're growing, as they get older, and know that they can trust you with certain things. These kind of practices is going to encourage and build relationships between parent and child. There's so many more things that can be done and said. Let me know in the comments what kind of things that you talk to your kids about when you're checking in, and how do you address certain issues. There's so many ways that we can help each other within the community by sharing our experiences. I love making content like this. So if you guys have any questions or any other ideas, make sure that you leave it in the comments or even DM me. That's it for now. I hope that this information was helpful to you. Make sure that you guys like this video. Make sure that you guys share, and make sure that you guys follow for more related content. So until next time, bye.